Movies, music, software, and millions of illegal copies online.
Kazaa is huge. In fact, it's bigger now than Napster ever was.
How the publishers are fighting back now.
Litigation is not going to be the ultimate solution.
True stories from the pirate underworld.
I walked out of my room and I was met by a federal customs agent.
Your concerns about copyright addressed live.
Kids don't trade wares.
Watch the Screensavers Special Piracy Edition, Wednesday at 7, 6 Central, only on TechTV.
Now, baby, pull the covers back over my head.
Okay, here's what we learned so far. One school of thought says song swapping, right, and another school of thought says pay-per-play music is good.
Yeah, except for one guy. He thinks he can take the best of both worlds, and he should know he's been on both sides of the fence.
It's Kazaa's alter ego.
I see AltNet being the savior in many ways.
AltNet, a pay-per-play service that works in tandem with Kazaa's peer-to-peer network. Song swapping, all legal-like.
We have enabled the network to be commercialized in such a way that we can fill the network full of legal content and displace the illegal content.
Bros understand swapping. Before AltNet, the entertainment industry hired him to keep tabs on peer-to-peer networks.
We actively monitored peer-to-peer networks from Napster, Nutella, and some of the more rogue, such as Freenet, to the best of our ability, and provided those numbers back to the industry to let them know just what was taking place.
Now he's pushing P2P.
It benefits the recording industry because it allows them to take advantage of this vast network of almost 100 million people.
Bros believes AltNet would actually curb piracy by rewarding users for sharing licensed content.
So when they share those files every single time it's uploaded, you get peer points, which you can then later, you can purchase goods for it.
Users accrue points, artists get paid, and the record industry gets dibs on a hefty distribution list.
Very simple. I think we are the solution to the industry's woes.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Samples? Well, they're a band that has certainly seen the ups and downs of the music biz, from signing with a major label to clawing for their next gig as an indie act. Their motto now, sample the samples any way you can. The weight of the world for the Samples, struggling to make it in the music biz.
The Samples have never been part of the in crowd.
16 years of ups and downs, a road that began in Boulder, Colorado.
Real music is being played in basements underground.
Sean Kelly just wanted to make music. Then the labels came along. Now, at first it was cool, but the pressure to produce a hit was insane.
You're setting a horrible precedence and you're killing music right before your very eyes.
So after testing the label waters twice, they took their music back.
Maybe, you know, we're pioneers in a way, more heroic and courageous than most.
The Samples turned to the internet and relied on the fans.
It's absolutely fertile soil.
Getting the word out means handing out free CDs and encouraging people to download, swap, and trade their music.
But I also promote that when people buy them, it helps us out. But I'm not going to stop them from spreading our music. But it's the greatest form of publicity known to the music business, as far as I can tell.
But why?
It's called karma.
Making good tunes is what keeps Samples fans swaying to the music.
That's something they can't steal from us until there's no more live music, which is where it all originated from anyway.
Kelly guesses if you give fans what they want, CDs will sell.
I think that whole concept is a bunch of crap, that people don't buy CDs.
They buy the CDs, they trade the music, and the Samples, well, love being sampled. It hopefully means more fans.
Charlie Daniels, strong opinions about his industry suing his fans.
I think it's just a big threat.
The record industry, they had challenges before. Believe it or not, when radio first started out, they were a problem. So were audio cassettes, but they overcame them. And some of the brightest minds in the music industry say they'll overcome downloading too. Lindsay Arendt tells us how.
Free music is everywhere. It's free on MTV and free on the radio. And yeah, it's free online. But the record industry, facing a significant slump in sales this year, is adamant that type of free music has got to be stopped.
If people aren't willing to pay for music, there won't be as much music. It's as simple as that.
Here at Universal Music Group, the world's largest label, Larry Kenswell says the web is an amazing tool for finding new music. But he admits record labels were way too slow in building a business around it.
Yeah, I'd say we're probably at least 1 year behind where we should be.
That's why Kenswell wants to turn his label into a nimble system that sells intangibles.
We are going from what has essentially been a business about selling things, round objects, generally, into selling what we really should be selling, music.
Across town at Maverick Records, the label behind acts like Alanis Morissette, all they talk about is online music.
You see kids flashing buddy icons for their bands. You see kids being able to buy t-shirts online. You see kids making banners. Kids are making websites. This is a process that we're seeing happen around their artists.
Jeremy Welch, head of new media, made a career of technology and music after watching artists like Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor in the studio.
These guys were using like computers, and I was like, that's cool. Like, to see what they were doing with recording music and then going on these computers and changing the sounds. I was like, music computers is kind of cool.
The way he sees it, there's an obvious solution to the record industry's woes.
If you can build an infrastructure where people can buy music easily and cheaply, not for 99 cents, but for 20 cents.
Charlie Daniels has never been one to mince words. He has lobbied Congress on music issues, taken war protesters to task on his website Soapbox. He's even published a book of his rants. Wait till you hear what he has to say about the record industry.
Couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself.
At the young age of 66, Charlie Daniels is still rocking.
People didn't think too much of him.
One of my basic ambitions when I started was longevity. We don't follow trends. We don't follow fads. We don't dye our hair orange. We don't follow what somebody else does. We do what we do.
All the good people down in Tennessee.
During his 3 decades of entertaining crowds, Daniels has seen it all in the music biz, from new formats.
What a big mess the 8-track was when it came out.
To new ways to distribute music.
We saw the advent of Naptser, which was just downright thievery.
So he has the perspective of a sage that comes only with age and wisdom.
Now I'm madder than hell and I ain't gonna take it no more.
It's not necessarily Napster he's mad at, it is the record industry.
I have thought for a long time that record industry had to catch up. We're always behind in technology. We're always behind in technology, and it's been as far behind as we are. The people who make the laws of the land are further behind.
See, Charlie has always been good to his fans, signing autographs, taking pictures, so he's not a real fan of suing them.
There's no way in the world that's ever going to work. It's foolish to even think about it. I don't know who came up with that. Probably some lawyers that won't spend the next 10 years in court.
Georgia. Charlie has a better idea than to demonize downloaders.
Instead of trying to spend money prosecuting people, I think we should try to make people realize what this is all about. That this is a product like any other product. It is not a tangible product. You can't pick it up and hold it. But it's a real product, and there are real people that depend on it for making a living. So I think once people understand that, there'll be a whole different attitude towards download music.
What's Microsoft got to do with online music? Plenty when you go behind the desktop. Plus, jam bands and song swapping. Not necessarily a perfect match. One big winner in this new age of music, Microsoft. No online music service yet, but it's wrapping its fingers around the industry through something called digital rights management.
It's using Windows Media Digital Rights Management to actually protect that file or help protect it.
Bottom line, it keeps people from downloading things like copyrighted songs without permission.
There's a license that is associated with each piece of content. It's checking to make sure that you have a license. When you do, it allows you to download and to play it. It also makes sure that you have a license to take that music to device.
A European internet service is using it, so is buymusic.com.
We felt that it had a big enough impact in the industry and was a de facto standard that we could bet on.
A bunch of music acts are splitting off from the establishment and making a go of making money any way they can. Nowhere is that more evident than a little jam band event called Bonnaroo.
Okay, so you take Neil Young, 80,000 arm-waving campers, some strategically placed paint, and you got Woodstock, right? Wrong. This is Bonnaroo, a festival moved more by the internet than peace and love. Like the event itself, the music here promoted on the web and often distributed over it as well.
The only way to really find out what they're doing is to trade CDs and to get online and, you know, pass the music around.
That's the key to success for some of these bands. In fact, swapping songs and concert recordings are encouraged.
We've been encouraging taping since day one. We used to tape our own shows and force the tapes on people.
Kind of a trademark of the jam band community.
Just to let you know it's a legendary Roots crew from Philadelphia, PA.
The Roots are still trying to get used to all of this sharing. They'd rather people still pay for music, and they try to set the example.
Today I sat and actually bought $300 worth of music. There you go. Even though I had it already. I know. Just the fact that I could say, oh, I want that. Oh, public interview. Let me get all the Stevie Wonder. No. Yeah, I know. You know, and then the bill came, and I'm like, damn, I'm never going to have to go to Tower again.
But most of the bands here are working on new ways to make a buck, like putting more emphasis on live. This kind of creative marketing, a signature of the Dead since, well, the beginning of Deadheads. Maybe the record industry should take their example and become more like public broadcasting to survive.
Honor what you love. If you love the music, honor it.
Okay, so we have heard a lot of ideas and a lot of opinions over the last hour.
And now we want to hear from you.
That's right. We're going to take the music war debate up a notch and open the mic.
Hello, and welcome to TechTV's Music Wars Open Mic. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I am Michaela Pereira. You know that music is the soundtrack of our lives, is it not? It inspires us, it soothes us, it brings us up, and it calms us down. For most of us, in fact, music is a part of our everyday lives.
Everybody who's here today loves music.